हाय, दिस इज़ बायोमास्टर साइंस। आज के इस वीडियो में हम बात करने वाले हैं 50 प्लस मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन जो हमेशा नेट सेट या गेट के एग्ज़ाम में आते हैं। टॉपिक रहेगा डाइजेशन और रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम के MCQs। ऑर्गन दैट प्रोड्यूस बाइल इज, ऐसा कौन सा ऑर्गन है जो बाइल प्रोड्यूस करता है? लिवर। The component in bile which help to emulsify fat in the duodenum is bile salt. The HCl in gastric juice convert pepsinogen to pepsin. The enzyme that is found on the mucosa of the intestinal villi is option A. The respiratory control center are located in the option D, brain. The glucose is converted into glycogen in liver and stored in liver. Option C. The movement in the gut wall are known as peristaltic. Option D. Now, which one of the following is true regarding digestion and absorption of food in humans? So, option C. Fructose and amino acid are absorbed through intestinal mucosa with the help of the carrier ions like Na plus means sodium. 9. The energy needed to fuel essential body process is called option D, basal metabolic rate. Next, why are bird lungs more efficient than human lungs? Option D. They use one way rather than an air in out flow system. Next, Peyer's patches found in the small intestines are lymphatic. Next, a fish opens and closes its gill, its mouth and gill. Actually, here we need mouth. Just a second. A fish opens and closes its mouth and gill covers a dog plant. A marine worm waves long, firmly gills in the water. All of these movements are an example of ventilation. Option A. Next, in respiration, energy are converted in ATP is converted into heat. 1 gram mole of glucose on complete oxidation to CO2 and H2O produces about option D 68,600 calories. In respiration, pyruvic acid is commonly formed and as intermediate product, a product of aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Question number 16. A disease called emphysema decreases the springiness of the lung. This decrease is harder to breathe and make it vital capacity. Option D. The dash is a ureter. Dash. The dash is a structure specialized for diffusion of gases and nutrients between the blood of the mouth and the fetus. Option placenta. Patient with chronic lung disease. Question number 18. Patient with chronic lung disease and difficulty breathing often adapt to the high concentration of CO2 in their blood. The breathing centers stop responding to CO2 level. If such a patient has difficulty breathing, medical personnel are reluctant to give the patient pure oxygen. Based on what you know about control of breathing, why do you think this is the case? Option C. Increased oxygen in the blood might slow or stop breathing. Next, removal of hydrogen and carbon dioxide from substrate is called oxidative decarboxylation. Option D. Anaerobic respiration of 1 glucose produces 10 NADH2 plus 2 FADH2 plus 2 ATP plus 2 GTP. The end product of aerobic respiration are carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Option D. Deposit feeders feed on detritus. Option C. The energy content of fats is approximately 2 times that of carbohydrate or protein. This is correct. Or protein. Which of the following would have the same O2 content? Blood entering the right side of the heart, leaving the right side of the heart. Option D. 25. Which of the following is more likely to be found in animals with gastrovascular cavity than in those with alimentary canal? Option C. Intracellular. Option C. Next, ruminants. Ruminants are those use microorganisms to digest cellulose. Question number 27. Zymogens are option C. Hydrolytic enzyme manufactured in inactive forms to protect the cells that produce them. The trachea of insect are highly branched, coming into contact with almost every cell for gas exchange. Which of the following is not involved in speeding up breathing? Stretch receptors in the lung. The binding of an O2 atoms to the first iron atoms of a hemoglobin molecules. Option C. Here is option C. Now, fluid is moved back into the capillaries at the downstream end of the capillary bed by osmosis. Which of the following is not a factor in the exchange of substance in capillary bed? Option D. Bulk flow through the apoplast. Which of the following is an organic molecule needed by the body in the small amount? Option B. Vitamin C. Breathing rate will increase when dash CO2 in your body in your blood cause a pH. In question number 34, there is a mistake. The correct question is breathing rate will increase when dash CO2 in your blood cause a dash in pH. Option is increased and drop. The acid pH of the stomach is regulated by the release of gastrin. After a meal of greasy French fries, which hormones and enzymes would you expect to be most active? Salivary, pancreatic amylase and disaccharides, and bile, salt, lipase, and androgesterone. Option A and B both. Question number 37. Chylomicrons are protein coated fat globules excreted out of epithelial cell into the lacteal. Which of the following is not a common component of feces? That is saturated fat. The hepatic portal vessels carries absorbed nutrient to the liver for processing. In counter exchange, the flow of blood in opposite direction maintain a favorable diffusion gradient along the length of an exchange surface. Smoking destroys the cilia in the respiratory passage way. This make it harder to keep the lung clean. The lungs are folded into many small air sacs and blood vessels which divide to form many small capillaries that increase the transfer of substance through their walls. The structure of in the digestive system similar in the function of these air sacs and capillaries are villi. Imagine that you have eaten a meal containing the following nutrient which would not have to be digested before being absorbed: amino acid, Aunt Rose had her gallbladder removed and afterward could not eat food containing large amount of fat. Laxatives work in the large intestine to relieve constipation. Which of the following would probably not be an effective laxative? A substance that promote water absorption in the large intestine. Which of the following answer below would not work in the following sentence? In order for the body to absorb and use dash, they must be broken down by hydrolysis into dash amino acid and protein. How does a gastro how does a gastrovascular cavity differ from an alimentary canal? The gastrovascular cavity has only one opening. Joe is trying to decide whether to buy a candy bar or some gumdrop to reward himself for losing 10 pounds. Both are both are 300 calories. Most of the calories in the gumdrop come from carbohydrate. If Joy want to keep his weight under control, it would be best to buy the gumdrop because the body tend to hoard fat. Option B. In humans, most nutrient molecules are absorbed by small intestine. After nutrients are absorbed, the blood carries them first to the liver. An advantage of gas exchange in water compared with gas exchange in air is that the respiratory surface does not dry out in water. Transport epithelial are responsible for the exchange of solutes for osmoregulation or excretion. For more such video, like, share and subscribe.